Jesse Lee Peterson. I'd like to let you in on a little secret. You're not white. And you'll never be white. You see this wig? It's not really my hair, it's a wig. I'm trying to prove a point by making myself look as stereotypically white as I possibly can. Because that seems to be what you want to be. You want to be white. You're certainly talking like the stereotypical bigot, sexist, redneck bigot. Sorry, there's some really nice rednecks out there. Let's just say sexist bigots. I imagine, stereotypically again, a bigot. They don't look like you. But you're showing me that, interestingly enough, bigots come in all colors. But unfortunately for you, you can never be what your heart's desire is, obviously. You want to be like all those religious right people. All the guys who want women to, forget having sex for pleasure. If women want to have sex for pleasure, they're sluts. And forget having control over your own body. These people don't want women to have control over their own bodies. They don't want women to be able to vote. They don't want women to be able to own property. Women are, as you say so eloquently in your little tirade video that's going around, incapable of wielding power, of, authority. We panic. We fly into panic anytime we're challenged or we face any kind of difficulty. We just get so confused. Well, that's what they want. That's what they think, and they want to basically take away from women all that we have fought so hard for: our right to vote, our right to control our own bodies and to decide whether or not we want kids. Right now, it's like you can't have an abortion unless, it's life-threatening to the woman. What about the days when women just didn't want to have children? And they had abortions because they didn't want to have a child. It's like all of a sudden abortion's back on the table and women's rights are back on the table, and these men that you wish to emulate, that you want to be like so badly, but you can't because you're just not white enough, want to decide whether or not they should allow women to have the same basic rights as they have. It's really kind of sad that you'll never get to be what you want, and what you want is to be one of them. Your idea of the good old days is back in the day when women couldn't vote, and probably women weren't driving their cars, they didn't have jobs, or maybe they just did secretarial jobs, or maybe they taught, but only little, probably, grade school level. Nothing too challenging, because we women fly into complete confusion if it's too stressful. But yeah, and we can't own property, and the man is basically in charge, and he makes all the big decisions, and the woman just, she looks to her man to decide things, because she wasn't really designed that way to actually make any big decisions. That's what you want. That's the good old days. Back in the day when women were ashamed of their bodies, they were ashamed, that your Bible is very anti-woman. We're supposed to be ashamed of our bodies. We're evil. We're the gates to hell. Whatever. And oh yes, we should be ashamed of what we are. And oh my, in the good old days we were ashamed of ourselves. There are good old days, the ones that you want to be like, the ones that you want to emulate, the ones that you're on their side of the line, and you're fighting the good fight for them, the religious right, the conservatives, the fundamentalists. What is their idea of the good old days? Is it the same as yours? Your good old days involves just having women know their place and yield to the greater wisdom and strength of their men. Well, they want that too, these people that you wish to be like and that you want to, be counted as one of them. But they also want black people to not be able to vote because they don't believe that you're capable of handling power or big decisions or even thinking, because you're really not that intelligent. You're black. You're black, so how can you possibly make good decisions? Or I mean, they personally think it's just an insult that you read. They don't want you to read. They don't want you to educate yourself or get higher education. They want you to be, you're really just animals. That's what they think. I mean, deep down inside, these people that you're siding with and you're standing behind and showing support to and trying to be one of them are laughing at you because you're black. They think you're an animal. They think look at this arrogant black person, You should be out in the fields picking cotton. You should be serving food on a platter to a bunch of white people, sipping pink lemonade. You should say master at the end of every sentence. You're property. That's what you should be. You should be property. They should have the right to decide whether or not you get married to somebody that you love, or whether or not you stay with the people that, your family, the person you do marry, or the children you produce, or they'll just sell your children into, to get money because you're just really just livestock. These people that you emulate, that you want to be like, are riding around, or they wish they were, riding around in white coats, white cloaks, and white pointy hats. We're talking about the KKK. That mentality, it's right there. These same people that want to subjugate women want to subjugate you. They don't say that America started going downhill when women were given the right to vote and be full human beings. They think that the world, that America I should say, started going downhill the moment black people were allowed to vote and be like human beings. So, as much as you want to be like them, as much as you're trying really hard to be a sexist bigot, you're not on the same playing field as them. If they had their way and women were robbed of their rights as human beings to control their own bodies, or to vote, or own property, or, I don't know, maybe even read, guess who would be next? To make their world the way they want it, black people would be next. Black people. Black people would lose their homes, they would lose their jobs. Black people would probably go back to having, being ditch diggers and polishing people's shoes and driving people around in cars and working fields. That's what they want. Their ideal world puts you back in chains. It bothers them that we have a black president. They're lashing out because they feel threatened that their way of life is going the way of the dodo bird. And they're lashing out at women, and they're lashing out at gays, and they're trying to get their good old boy America back. And you're actually standing on their side, telling women that because a Bronze Age book written by anonymous people is sexist, that because of that, women should be ashamed of themselves. Oh, but it's okay for men, right? It's okay for men to buy condoms in the store and run around fucking as many women as they want and producing children and not even taking responsibility for those children. It's okay. There's no special word for men that do this. But women, they have a special word. They're called sluts. Women who dare to enjoy sex just to enjoy sex, not to reproduce. Women shouldn't have sex, right? Unless it's to reproduce, have babies. I could go on and on. I think I've said all that I need to say. I am very fully aware that you don't really have the highest IQ. You're an embarrassment to black people. You're an embarrassment to most men. You're an embarrassment that people like you even still exist. You're just, it's like something just crawled out from 10,000 years ago, you know? And I don't even want to say Neanderthal, because I'm sure the Neanderthal were more intelligent. And I'm fully aware that I could talk and talk and talk about this to you, point out how incredibly wrong it is that anybody could think this and want to generalize and put all women as this into this little box. Just like, you know, they all want to put all blacks into another box. But there's nothing between your ears. You wouldn't understand. You're a sexist bigot, and you're kind of unfortunately exist. I wish they would all die out. I wish all the people that are like you would die out, because you and people like you are the reason there is so much hate still in this world. And what's really funny is you claim to be the mouthpiece of God. You're loving God in heaven. And all you do is make Christians look bad, Christianity look bad, organized religion look bad, God look bad. Everything that you stand for and look like, you're an embarrassment to. And you're not one of them. As much as you think you are, as much as you think, you know, they're all slapping you in the back saying, good job, they're laughing at you. They're laughing at you because you're their puppet, you're their Uncle Tom. And I honestly didn't know the meaning of that word, of that phrase, until I saw your video and I saw a few people refer to Uncle Tom, call you an Uncle Tom, and I looked it up. The shoe fits. Sadly to say. But hell, I'm a woman. What do I know?